Hi, everybody. Like I say in all my videos, I'm not responsible if anybody gets hurt, and it's just my opinion. I'm going to do a tarot reading on what's going on with Israel and Iran about them fighting and stuff, and I'm also going to have my opinion about making a video on my thoughts on about the war. But now I'm just doing a tarot reading about the war in Iraq and how long it's going to be, and ask a few questions. I don't know how long it will be. Let's start. All right. I'm going to ask, how long is the war going to be? Is it going to be weeks, months, years? I'll just ask months. Is it going to be months, this war with Iran and Israel? 4 cards, please tell me. Also, I'm going to ask with my 2 oracle cards, these 2. War. How long it's going to be. All right. All right. It says there's an opportunity. They want to bomb. Israel wants to bomb. They want to bomb each other because it probably has to do with money, and there's opportunity. Because Trump has given money to Israel to bomb Iraq, and he's dreaming of taking over it, Iraq. I might do and he's going to accept, and he's going to move on once the war is over. The people are going to have to move on, so it'll eventually be done with, but it's going to take a little while. And they want to find peace eventually. They want to find peace after the war is over, each side. And this confusion because the people are fighting a war that they don't really want to do, but they're forced into it, and they don't really want to fight the war. They think it's brutality and chaos. This fighting keeps on going. Now it's been going on, in the killing and the death. So there's chaos, bombs are blowing every but things, people getting killed. There's a lot of chaos and fighting, which I personally think they shouldn't have. But and exhaustion. People are tired of it already. They're upset over the fighting. They'll probably, a lot of them have to be in bunkers because they're exhausted. They have post-traumatic stress disorder because they're tired of, going through a war. They've gone through wars all the time. Israel and Pakistan. Israel and all these different countries are tired of all these wars and the fighting, and they don't want to do it. They feel like they're forced into it. And they feel very overwhelmed and upset over going to war. They don't really want to do it, but they're forced into the war. They're kind of pissed off because they were forced into the war. It says your current situation is means to an end. You are making the uncertain voyage to a new world. Jordan. So the current situation means to them end. So it might mean that, hopefully it will come to an end. And the uncertain voyage, like, you don't know what's going to be happening after, the war. They're not sure what's going to happen after the war. When at work, you can make not be a peach now. You can make temptation while waiting for it to open. Your new place offers job opportunity. I'm not sure about the job opportunity, about going to war. Excuse me. Yeah, would you like to make reach now? I think, the opportunity of going to war, Trump thinks it might make you look good, so I didn't really get that last card, but I don't know, I'm coughing. Excuse me. Uh, Now let me ask another. It didn't say really. I'll ask two more. I'll ask one more time. How long is the war? I'm gonna ask one more time. If it doesn't tell me, it's gonna happen. But I'll ask with three cards. And if it doesn't answer, it doesn't answer. Maybe they're not sure. How long is the war gonna be? Is it gonna be another month? Months? Please tell me. Three cards. Is it going to be months, weeks? Please tell me. Three cards. And I'm going to do an article of one. Because I like doing articles. Is it going to take weeks, months? Right. Oh, there's two of them. Two are popping out. All right, so sometimes I just pop them. It says it's gonna take weeks and months. Emotional. People very emotional about the war. They're getting really pissed off about doing it. They don't really want, like I said, they don't want to get involved in this war. A lot of people are against it. They don't want it to escalate and people lose their lives and dying. They're really upset and they're emotional, but balance. They're trying to keep in control because they don't want all these people getting killed and, having dead bodies and chaos and everything. Eventually they want democracy. They don't want people to fight on these different wars. They want I think some of these people like Canada and different countries who aren't involved want democracy. They don't want fighting. Other countries do not want to fight with these countries. They want democracy, like Canada, England, probably Europe. They don't want to get involved. They want democracy. They don't want fighting. They would say, why are we getting involved? Like, why is Trump getting involved? I'll ask that next. They want democracy. They don't want any fighting. They don't want to get involved in these wars. Which I think is smart, not getting involved. And lack of faith. They have lack of faith that it's going to go well. The people of United States don't have faith in of this war going smoothly. We're kind of bummed out. We're bummed because we're bombing those people, no fun intended. But yeah, they're insecure. We're insecure because we're upset on what we can't trust Trump for what he's doing about bombing we're getting involved in bombing the other countries. I'm just reading this entertainment purposes and balance, harmony. The people in our world want harmony. We do not want wars. We want peace. We don't want I don't think the average people in Israel and Pakistan and Quebec and Iran most of the majority people don't want war. They want peace, they want harmony, they don't want to have fighting other countries, they don't want it. They want to stop it, they don't want it. And they want to find meaning, like, what's the meaning of this? What's the point of having war, going to bomb everybody, killing innocent people? All right. Sing your own song. They want you to sing your own song, like stand up for yourself, stick up, saying enough is enough, Trump. You cannot do this. You cannot bomb it. The people want to speak up. I think people are going to be protesting against the war. That's a great question. Kat, calm your independence. People going to be independent and don't want the fighting anymore. They want independence. They don't want the war in Israel and Iraq and Pakistan, all the wars. I'm talking about all the wars. We want independence. We want enough of this fighting. We have enough killing about stuff. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to ask a question. I know a lot of people don't ask these questions, but I do. Are people gonna like protest against this war? Are people gonna hold signs against this war we're doing with Israel and Iraq and the other wars? Are we gonna like hold signs and say this sucks? You shouldn't be getting involved. Are we gonna hold signs and say we should not be involved in the war? This war? Are they gonna hold signs and protest against the war? That's a good question, and I'll let us psychics or tarot readers don't ask those questions, but I do. Um, are people going to hold signs and protest, or speak out against it? Are people going to protest? Say enough is enough. I don't want this anymore. Shuffle. I have to shuffle this way. Sometimes the oracle cards aren't very good. Okay, people going to be protesting against the war. There's going to be confined imprisonment. Oh, if people are going to complain, Trump's going to want them in jail. If you complain about the war, he's going to put you in jail. You'll be stuck in a rut. People are going to be in a rut. Like if you protest, he's going to put you in jail. Personal transformation, fear of change. There's going to be disaster. Average disaster. It's going to be disaster. People are going to want to complain, but they're afraid because Trump will have them arrested and there will be disaster. This is the tower in reverse. So, yeah, people are afraid to protest because the way he is, he's not playing with a full deck. They're afraid that he'll have you arrested if you protest against the war. He's afraid. People are afraid. The stuck emotional baggage, resistant to change, the resistant to change, about the war. They're not sure if they should complain, to change, unfinished business, feel of overwhelmed, trapped. They feel trapped, because we've been through so many damn wars, we're trapped. We don't know what to do. Should we complain or not? Or like I said, you'll get arrested, you'll get in trouble for it. So people feel trapped and overwhelmed. Like, oh, is it worth going to jail for the night or a couple days? Or should we do it and see how the cards fell? Well, they may. Also, this problem and chaos, there's going to be bad luck. People, if people protest, there's going to be bad luck. Maybe they'll end up, like I said, arrested, threatened. Like we know things about you. There will be bad luck. Yeah, there's going to be bad luck. Like they'll find out something about you. Like if you complain about the war or if you protest, they're going to find things in your closet. Trump and the Republican Party will find things about you. The Trump will find things about you and use it against you. So, people are afraid. A lot of people, and they think it's a waste of time, because they might not have the money to be going into prison, having people, how when you get arrested, they have bonds and they can be very highly expensive, and they might think it's a waste of money, going into prison because a lot of people can't afford being out on bond, might be thousands of dollars. The average person like you and me cannot afford it. We're not like Donald Trump or P. Diddy, if he could have got out, or any of these celebrities like, and we're impatient. Like, oh, we'd be very impatient if we were in prison, staying up for ourselves. So they think. So it says no, people don't want to protest. Some people probably will, but you will flight. You will not let fear stop you at this time. So some people are gonna not have fear, like they're gonna do it. Some people are gonna do it. I asked. Some people are gonna protest and say, "I'm gonna do it, even if I get arrested and thrown in jail. I'm not gonna be scared from Trump." See the girl with the bird. She's gonna, like, she's not taking any crap. So yeah, she's gonna fly. She's flying on the bird. She says, I'm gonna be independent. I'm gonna protest if I want. I'm not gonna have anybody threatening me. Fine, look if you want. I have nothing to hide. So some people will not protest against Trump because they're afraid skeletons in their closet might come out. But this girl says, I don't care. There's some people who won't care because they said I have the money to clean myself. All right, let me think. Um, will is we probably know this, but I'm asking anyway. Is it have to do with money? Is that the reason why we're fighting? Is because of money and money? Is Trump doing this because of money and being popular? Money and being popular. Is that why Trump wants to? He thinks in his mind that it has to be with money and being popular and oil and all that crap. Please tell me, is he doing it because he thinks it will make him look good? Ugh, yuck. But yeah. It says he feels lonely and withdrawn from doing this, the idea of doing this, going to war. I think he feels lonely, like no one's on his side. I think he feels depressed and lonely because no one's on his side. He doesn't feel like too many people are on his side. Going into another country and taking it over, he feels he lost his way, like, maybe this wasn't the most best idea. No kidding. Yeah. Unfairness, lack of accountability. He thinks it's lack of accountability, like he shouldn't be, like he has lack of accountability. He should have done it. He should have, he doesn't take, like he's a narcissistic. I did a thing over earlier. He doesn't take any responsibility for his actions. That's pretty much what they say. He doesn't take any punishment. He's a very dishonest person. What a surprise. That's what it says. He's going to be punished eventually because people are going to be pissed off at him for doing this. So people are pissed off with him and he's going to be punished. All right, difficult decisions, working the options. So he's going to think of the options. Maybe he'll decide to send the people out of Israel and Iran and Pakistan and all these war countries. Maybe he'll decide, because he'll have to have different options. Maybe he'll take the people out of it, or he'll have it. I'm going to see if he's going to have people put on the ground next. And wealth. He wants people to like him, and the wealth, because he makes a lot of money, and he thinks he'll be having success. All right. Are these people are we gonna have people, men and women, going on the ground in Israel? Are we gonna fly in and have them parachute, onto the ground, like we did in Vietnam, where we went, and these other Desert Storm and all stuff? Please, are we going to be sending troops on the ground in Israel and Iran and Pakistan and whatever countries? I go for all wars. It says emotional. He's emotional about this. He's not sure if we should. He wants to be democratic about it. In control, because he's not sure it's a good idea for the troops to do it, the men and women, because they might get hurt or killed. So he's not sure if he should send them into the war countries. And he has to be tolerant of people's feelings. Also, he has lack of faith that would end well. Like, he's not sure. Send these people, it might send them to their death. Trump, sending them on the boat, because they're not used to the people. When you go into another country, you don't know what what their layout is. Like in Pakistan and Israel, it might be too hot there. They might not have, they don't know the language there. You would need an interpreter there. You don't know the language. You don't know the terrain. If it's hot, if it's because you need lots of water. If it's hot, it's not like different parts. Maybe if it's like Texas or California, maybe. But it could be dry. It can be hot. You don't know the people. They have different costumes or anything. You don't know what it's like, and they're going to be disconnected. They're not, people don't want them in their country. People are disconnected. People in the other countries do not want us there. I'm going to look that up next. That will be my last question. There's no love here. Unfiltered love. Nope. He thinks there's going to be connection to people. Like the people will like him. A deluded mind, I think. Agreed. He's only interested in himself. He doesn't care about the people going into, he's kind of greedy. He doesn't care about people going into the war, causing war. He doesn't care about people's dying and the children dying, the adults. People have nothing to do with the war. Trump doesn't care. He says he's greedy. He's financial. He's only in it for the money. I don't know how much money you can get from war. I think it's more, whatever. Oh, yeah. Lack of faith. I'm going to ask about this. Are people going to get sick and tired of him and want to kick him out because of what his involvement in the war? Well, people want to impeach him and kick him out. Is he going to be impeached or kicked out because of the war, this war? Is he going to be kicked out because he caused this war? Are people going to say, I'm pissed at him, I don't like him, I despise him? Are they going to kick him out of the war, out because of this war and all these people dying and get seriously injured? I'll do 4 cars. If people going to say he should be impeached or kicked out because... Well, it says no, but people are aggressive. People are going to be pissed off at Trump. People are pissed off at him. They might not say it. Well, I do. But anyway, a lot of people are pissed off and they're aggressive. Like, they're really upset. It says no, people aren't going to do. But people are very aggressive and angry on what to do. Some of the Republicans are upset. Some of the Democrats, people who run the mayors and governors who are Democrats, people in the Democratic office, probably the people who are Congress, House of Representatives are pissed off. Everybody's angry. They have hot tempers over this war. They pissed off at Trump because what he's done, putting the war. So they're really pissed off. They're pissed. Oh, they feel overwhelmed and insecure about him being in office because this is like breaking the camel's back. This was like the last straw for him. He's putting people's lives in danger. He doesn't seem to care. They're overwhelmed, they're insecure. They feel like giving up on. They've pretty much given up on him. They don't trust him anymore. We give up on you. And they think he's very selfish and cares about himself. He doesn't care about other people, not very much. He doesn't care about the other countries. He just wants to bomb and be Mr. Popularity. And he wants to battle at all costs. He didn't care about other people's well-beings. So he doesn't really care about other people. He's selfish. And there's going to be conflict, people there are going to be some people who are going to say enough is enough. We should kick him to the curb. He should be, impeached. He should get kicked out of office. So some people are going to say that. They say he should, they think he had risky behavior, sending people over there, to bomb, people over there. So people are really pissed off at him because he's sending people. So I'm going to ask one more question. Is there anything else, what's going to happen in the future with these wars? Obviously, we're always going to have wars. We've had them since, the cavemen and, the Civil War, World War One, World War Two, Vietnam. Can you please tell me any future with the future wars, please? Please, down and destroy. It's all they want to fight. You know, people just like to fight. Some people like to fight no matter what. They make an excuse to fight. There's going to be always wars. It's a sad reality. People like to fight. I don't want to go to war. I think we should mind our own business. But a lot of people want to go into war and fight and kill and destroy other countries and stuff like that. And they want fame. They don't care about other people. They're very selfish and self-centered and don't care. They want to achieve for themselves. And there's going to be great loss. People are going to lose their lives, get injured, severely injured. They're going to be, you know, traumatized through the wars. You know, I feel bad for those people over there. I'm going to make a video after this about the war. So there's a lot of people who will lose lives, family members. You know, people are going to be grieving. They're going to cry. They're going to be upset over this. They're not going to like us anymore. Not surprised on that. They're going to be disappointed because we got involved in the war, which I don't, and they're going to feel sad and lonely. And they feel like we're a failure. Our country's a failure. Other countries are going to think we're a failure because we got involved and we fought and killed and injured people and destroyed other people's countries. And then they have to start all over and fix things up and rebuild and look for dead bodies, you know, with sniffing dogs and stuff. So they're going to lose a lot. And businesses, you know, people don't also, you know, when they have to fix their homes up, they're going to lose power and food and water and stuff. Realistic. This is realistic that we're always going to have wars. No one's going to, you know, you have to, don't put your road glasses on, which I wish I could, but this is really realistic, you know, that you have to, you know, people who are leaders are always going to have wars. You know, they're going to start like, you know, with Hitler and Stalin. They were into, you know, wars and starting wars, and now Trump. So, you know, they think it's they're being grounded and think it's okay. So this was exhausting. Yeah, so I'll make another video on different subjects in the video with my tarot reading or other subjects. To my next video, take care and bye.